Good morning. Welcome to today's morning cup of Zen, where the title is quite apt. For we'll do a mindfulness practice that you might refer to as mindful drinking or mindful sipping, but it's much more than that. The object of attention will be the mug or the cup in which you have a beverage. And we'll explore the various senses, engaging them in a more deliberate way, observing what it is that we experience. And so you may want to pause this for a moment so that you can get your morning cup of coffee or tea or juice, or pour yourself a cup of water and come back. I encourage you to have a mug, though that's not necessary. And if you have one that has a little bit of detail or not too busy, but that can be useful over, say, a glass, but all works well. See you in a moment. So, we will engage the senses, and let us begin with sight. So whether the mug is in front of you or you put it down, and at this moment I encourage you to turn your attention to the mug to have your own direct experience and listen to the guidance, and I'll be doing this as well. We turn our attention to the mug, the cup, as the object of our attention. We're looking and taking in the visual detail is our primary interest. Light, shade, the outside, the inside, noticing the beverage, its color in relationship to the color of the mug as you breathe. And we're not thinking so much about this. We're not trying to come up with all these observations as much as we are allowing the observational capacity that we have that's always at play to just do its thing and to be there for it. So you may notice bubbles or color and the mixing of colors. Whatever it is that you draw in with these eyes that are soft, with a gentle gaze, is our experience. There's so much here. Quite literally, we could spend hours and hours, as one might if this were a painting. And indeed, this is in many ways a work of art. Not only the mug in front of you with the beverage in it, but what you see around it. It could be a painting in a museum that you spent a long time marveling over. Lifting up the mug, and as you do, noticing sound, the gentle sounds of the hand reaching, touching, grasping, releasing. We're not trying so much to make sounds, although you may do a little to generate the sounds. We're listening to those sounds. And of course, there'll be sounds around us. And those are welcome as well, as we listen with ears as if hearing for the first time. And indeed, we are hearing these sounds for the first and only time. Smell, the olfactory sense, as we bring the cup to us and we breathe in a slower, deeper breath, a few, perhaps closing the eyes. It can be helpful for further engaging the olfactory sense. More of our attention is routed in that direction as the visual sense is more or less offline. We're receiving less input. And there's so much to savor. There's so much subtlety. And so often we miss it almost entirely. And then touch, to feel this cup in your hand. Smooth, rough. It's as if we are, and it can be helpful again to close the eyes, it's as if we're feeling our way blind, where the body knows much more through the sense of touch than we could ever know by looking and thinking about what we're feeling. As we breathe, and then taste. And so we form the intention in a moment to take a sip, drawing it closer to our lips, aware of the micro movements of our hands and fingers, positioning it ever so perfectly. How does it do this? We don't need to know, it does. Perhaps the aroma once again, then touch as it meets our lips, and then to take a sip and to savor. To feel its smooth or milky, silky texture in the mouth, the flavor. To place the mug down, and then to rest attention, much like we would the breath, resting attention on the sensations of the breath. As we close this practice, we rest our attention on the mug, which in this moment may be a visual attending, with the intention for our attention to stay on the mug. So it's a focused attention practice for these final closing moments. Inclining the mind to the thoughts or feelings that might be arising in this moment. So we're anchored by the mug. What thoughts may there be? And just as we noticed earlier the aroma or sound, here we're noticing any thoughts or the feelings of this morning amid this practice. As we breathe. And so that was a mindfulness practice where the object and its related objects, we could say, are all found in an object that we have with us much of the day. And you may want to, from time to time, turn your attention in this informal way, we could say, whether it's for a breath or two or a little bit longer, to notice the sensory richness, pleasant, unpleasant, neutral, whatever it may be, but to be more present for our experience with our morning cup guiding us. All right, I hope you have a wonderful day. Be well.